So when I did my Cocoa Mug gift card, I borrowed the star, a couple of the stars and the joy embellishment from this design, which I got from Split Coast Stampers from their demo last week. And like usual, when I see something I like to do it and make the cut instead of doing it by hand as they showed. So what I can do is show you how to make this star ornament, continuing from where we left off with the couple stars that we had. So that's the photo. When I was working with this, I also thought, well, it would be nice to make a back to this star, so I added some tabs, but I'm not really going to do that this time. So what I'll do is go back to our mug and look at the star decoration that I got here, and I'll open up this hidden section here where if you click on the eyeball at the bottom and show all, then you get all the pieces back. So I'm just going to copy those pieces, Control-C, copy, and go over here to my star ornament and just add a new page and do Control-Shift-V. We can resume where we left off. Remember, we had the joy, we have this star here, and this star here, and I had made 5 layers. So we really have everything that we need right now to work with the design. There was this star here, and I'll show you again the photo here. We have an outer star, that's layer number 5, the 6-inch star we made, and then we have this layer number 4, which has the music notes here. This is the second from the largest star. So we've already got the first several layers finished, so we only have 2 more layers to do to finish this project. So what we're going to do is add some score lines, which they did by hand, by adding a new layer, and this will be the score lines layer. I'll also send these two, let's send them to their own layers here. Send that one to the top by clicking on the smaller, the 2 green plus icons, and then hiding that and sending this one to the top. So we have these 2 stars on separate layers, and I'll add a new layer here for the score lines. Now, in order to get that 3D look on this photo, we're going to do folds through the points all the way down to the opposite edge, and that's how we get the 3D look. So I'm just going to click on the Bezier Draw, zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to click at the tip of the star here, left click, and just right click at the opposite edge, right click, and left click at this point, and left click, right click at the end. We go to this point, left click, and right click to end the line. Left click, right click, and left click, and right click. So we can either use our embossing or engraving tool to do those score lines, or just to remind myself, I'll change these to dashes. You can do them whichever way you prefer. If your paper is the same color all the way through, you probably won't see the dash lines too much. But if you have a white core paper, you probably want to do scoring with an embossing tool. So this will, every other one will be mountain and valley. So if this is a mountain fold, this will be valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley. And we can duplicate that set of lines if we want to, but if I'm going to cut these separately, I can just go ahead and use one set of lines, and when I want to cut the orange, the gold star, I can leave both of those layers open to cut both of those, and then when I want to do the other one, I can still leave the score lines open. So I don't really need to do two sets of score lines. So when it's all done, then I'll be rotating one of these, probably this one a little bit, when I assemble it, so I won't worry about score lines right now, but this will kind of be off-centered and maybe down a little bit, and then we'll stack these other stars and send that up to the top and then that up to the top. So we have several different layers that we're working with to create a kind of a festive look. And I just glued these together, offset them a little, and then put the text on top. Now the other thing that it needs is a hole in, so you can run a ribbon through. So I add a new layer and just add a circle, CI, double click, and I'll make this circle about 1/8 of an inch. You can type the fraction 1/8 and enter, and it automatically changes it into a decimal. And put it up here near the top, and I'll hide those score lines and also send that to the bottom, move layer to the bottom, and then join. So now I have the little hole there for my ribbon to go through to hang it. Now if you wanted to, you can do as I did here, and that is to add the tabs in a very similar manner to what Susan did, so that I would cut, if I wanted to glue a backing to it, I would duplicate this back layer with the score lines so that I'd have two of these, but with one of them I would add the tabs, making sure that at this point that the tabs are very narrow, because they can't be fatter than the width of the actual point of the star. So I won't go over that because it really is a complete project like this. This is the way Split Coast Stampers did it. And it makes a very nice decorative element for hanging on a tree, or put it on a stick and make a centerpiece for a table. So that's why I use that also on my mug. You can see where I cut it out here.